everyone, I'm MSJ11432 and in today's tutorial video, I'm going to talk about the Soviet montage theory. To begin with, the Soviet montage theory is basically a non-linear editing technique or a process which was developed during the 1920s by famous film director Sergei Eisenstein, who is also known as the father or the pioneer of the Soviet montage theory. There are 5 different techniques in the Soviet montage theory: metric montage, rhythmic montage, tonal and overtonal montage, and the last but not the least, intellectual montage. Rhythmic montage editing technique is that every cut between each shots controls the pace at which the film is accelerating. Rhythmic montage is occurred by the panning of the camera and also the movement of the characters. In this montage, the movement of the camera or the character is portrayed in a way that it looks like both of the characters or the subjects are coming closer. Let's watch an example from my film. In this example, you can see our antagonist and a door. Here, the door is also considered as a character. In this whole rhythmic montage, you can see that our antagonist was moving forward and finally, at the end, the antagonist reached the door. So, this is how I created the rhythmic montage for my film. Now, moving on to the next montage, I will be talking about metric montage. The metric montage is inspired by the pacing of a musical score, aka the meter. This technique is used to create a pace within a film scene by cutting to the next shot. After a finite number of frames, no matter what is happening on screen. So, in simple words, the metric montage is used between a combination of shots that will create a meaning which will build disturbance and tension in the audience's mind. This technique is used in 2 ways. The first one is by changing the frame size and the another one is by changing the shot length. By changing the shot size, I meant if your first shot is a mid close-up shot, then your next shot has to be a close-up shot and the next one has to be a big close-up shot. By doing this, you are breaking the rule of cinematography. And this is creating a disturbance in your audience's mind. On the other hand, by changing the shot length, I meant if your first shot is 6 seconds long, then the next one has to be 4 seconds long and the third one has to be 2 seconds long. So here you can see 6, 4, 2. The shot sizes are gradually decreasing. And another crucial thing about creating a metric montage is your shot has to be repeated or you have to use different shots to create the metric montage. By this gradual decrease of the shot length, this is creating a tension in your audience's mind. Now let's watch a metric montage that I created in my film. So, in the first shot of my example, you can see a male hand closing the door and it was the lengthiest shot. After that, gradually, the duration of each shots were decreasing and in this way, I have created metric montage for my film. Now, let's move on to the next montage. Tonal montage. Tonal montage uses the emotional meaning of the shots. It is not just happens to be manipulating shot length or the rhythmical characteristics, it is creating a new meaning by using a combination of shots' emotional content. Now, let's watch another example. In this example, you can see that the girl is smoking and birds are flying in the wide open sky. So you can feel the girl that she is free just like the birds flying in the sky. And that's how I have portrayed tonal montage in my film. Now I'm going to talk about overtonal montage. Well, this montage is very easy to explain, but it is very hard to portray, because it is a combination of metric, rhythmic and tonal montage. So for portraying this montage, you need to be an expert at all three of these montages. Let's not wait and watch an example immediately. For my example, I have used all three metric, tonal and rhythmic montages to create this overtonal montage. I have gradually reduced the shot lengths. I made my antagonist come close to my protagonist, and lastly I have used the bathtub shots to convey an emotional meaning. Intellectual montage. Intellectual montage is basically the use of metaphors in film. It defines as a combination of images that draws an intellectual meaning. To clear out your confusions, let's watch the example. In this example, you can see that the fish tank contains two fishes, but unfortunately, one of them is dead. Here, our director is trying to convey a message to her audience. If you notice, most of the student projects contains a round jar and a fish in it. Usually, this metaphor conveys the message of being lonely. Just like that, our director is also trying to convey a message to her audience. Well, now you can ask me, why cannot we call metaphor a montage, or what is the difference between metaphor and montage? Well, here is the difference. Metaphor can be called montage, but montage cannot be called metaphor, because metaphor is just a part of montage and montage is much more greater than just a metaphor. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.